What's going on, guys? It's that guy with movies back here again. And today's video is going to be another collection video, and this time it's going to be on my complete 4K Ultra HD Blu-Ray collection. But before we get started, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell to be notified of future videos. A new video every Tuesday and Friday. So without further ado, we'll get started with the collection. So of course we'll start with Ace first, and this first one, actually these first few are actually superhero movies. Actually, most of these are superhero movies. But the first one here I did see in theaters a couple months ago, and I did decide to buy it on 4K because it is a visually stunning movie, and that is Aquaman. I actually saw this on opening day. It was a couple days before Christmas, I believe. It was like December 21st or something like that. Went to go see this in 3D, and it was absolutely visually stunning in 3D. And I actually can't believe some people said that this movie had bad special effects. And just while watching this, it was absolutely incredible seeing all these visual effects come to life and everything. It was great. I really enjoyed this movie. I have seen some hate for it. Like, there's people saying, oh, it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But it was just a really fun time. I think James Wan did a great job with this movie. And Jason Momoa, he's okay as Aquaman. I believe, actually, if they wanted more of like a comic-accurate Aquaman, Patrick Wilson was also in this movie. I believe he could have probably switched roles with him and actually have Jason Momoa as Orm and Patrick Wilson as Aquaman, but he's probably too old to play Aquaman. But it probably would have been a little bit more comic-accurate, but nonetheless, he did an okay job, as well as Amber Heard as well, and also Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who played Black Manta. He was pretty good in this movie as well, and this was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it, and you know, this like I said, it's just a visually stunning movie altogether. And I really like the slipcover as well, because if you guys can see right there, it is kind of shiny. But yeah, Aquaman, I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend watching it if you guys have not seen it yet, but that is Aquaman. So that's it for DC for right now, so let's get on with some Marvel ones. So first one I got here is the Avengers. I did show this one in my complete Marvel Cinematic Universe collection, and I love this movie. This is such an awesome, fantastic movie. I love this one. Probably my absolute favorite in the MCU. I actually showed this one twice in that video. I showed it on 4K, and then I also showed the 3D Blu-ray I have of it as well. Still have yet to get that PlayStation VR thing to play the 3D. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll get that one day. But, yeah, I have the 3D. I wanted that for right now. And I also have the 4K of it as well. And I think it looks pretty good on Blu-ray. Same thing with Aquaman. Aquaman looked amazing in 4K. But this one, I remember this one looking pretty good in 4K as well. And, you know, I absolutely love this movie. And it's just fantastic. I love it. Just Joss Whedon was a pretty great choice for director. And, you know, just a lot of action in this movie. Great writing, great action set pieces in this one. And, you know, I think Loki is a pretty good villain. I like Tom Hiddleston in the role. He's pretty decent in it. But, yeah, anyway, though, Avengers, you know, what can be said that hasn't already been said about it? It's brilliant. I love it. And then kind of go a little bit downhill here with the sequel, Age of Ultron. They did bring Joss Whedon back for this one. Unfortunately, it was not as good this second time around, which actually led to him kind of quitting the Avenger movies. But I think he said he would come back to do another one. I'm not too sure. I think he said that, but reportedly, he had a horrible time making this movie because just the whole bunch of studio interference while making this one, and he did not like it at all because Ultron was not what he should have been in this movie. He was, from the trailers, they made him out to be this really threatening kind of Thanos-level threat, and in this movie they basically turned him into a joke. It was disastrous to say the least. But at least we did get the introduction of Vision in this movie. But this movie was just so disappointing. I barely remember anything about this one. I should probably rewatch it. It was actually one of the ones that I did not rewatch last year for Infinity War. But yeah, this one it was the less said about that one, the better. But the next one, the Russos came in and they saved it by doing Infinity War. And Infinity War, comparing it to Endgame, I really like Infinity War. It's great. It was probably my favorite movie last year. It was just amazing how they could fit all these characters onto, in one movie. And just, it's just an unprecedented cinematic journey, like it says up top there. But Infinity War, you gotta love it. Just great action, great writing as well, and some great acting from RDJ in this movie when they were on Titan and they were trying to get the gauntlet off, and Robert Downey or Tony was screaming at Star-Lord about how he shouldn't engage him in that and how he shouldn't hit him with the gun there. That was great acting altogether, and actually I really like the slipcover as well. It's also super shiny. But yeah, Infinity War, again, what's there to be said that hasn't already been said about this one. I kind of talked about this one in my MCU collection. I'll actually link that down below for you guys if you do want to watch that video. But yeah, Avengers Infinity War, really good movie, and it looked great on 4K. It could have been a little bit better audio-wise, but it was still really good. And then the next one here, we're kind of taking a little bit of a break from superhero ones. Well, actually, there's one more coming up after this. But that is Bohemian Rhapsody. And before I say this one, or before I talk about this here, Reddit probably hates me right now because I actually really enjoyed this movie. I know everybody on Reddit just blasts this one and say this is just an absolutely horrendous movie. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a good movie. At least it's not any of those like Meet the Spartans or like disaster movie or anything, because that's pretty much what Reddit kind of makes it out to be. Is it's horrible along the lines of like The Room or like disaster movie in that, but it's not. It's a really well-made movie, unlike those ones. But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody, it looks great, it sounds great, and it was just a great movie, especially the Live Aid part at the end was great. I know this movie was kind of shrouded in controversy, though, because, of course, Bryan Singer and, the members of Queen and Sacha Baron Cohen, because he was originally going to be doing this movie, but he dropped out due to kind of wanting making an R-rated Queen biopic. But what we got was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's just a great tribute to Queen altogether. And I like how they kind of kept it clean, but, that's just me. But, it's the life of a rock star, I guess. You kind of have to kind of put some risque content into it, but they kind of managed to get around that by kind of making it clean and everything, and kind of delving more into the music side of Queen rather than Freddie Mercury's personal life. But I really enjoyed this movie. I have this one on Blu-ray as well, and I love the slipcover as well. It looks great. But the Atmos is a pretty good test material, I guess you could say, if you do have an Atmos-enabled receiver and speakers and everything. Test the We Will Rock You part, and it is absolutely amazing. Well, We Will Rock You and Live Aid, those are probably the best parts of the movie. But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody, that is that one. And also Rami Malek did a great job too, because obviously he won the Oscar for that one. And then we get into some more MCU here with Captain Marvel. This is the newest MCU movie to be released to 4K. Obviously not the newest MCU movie period, because that is Far From Home, but the newest one to be released on 4K. And I did pick it up, even though I've been kind of bad-mouthing this one and saying I did not like it, which is true. It was okay, I guess, but it wasn't amazing or anything. It's definitely on the lesser, kind of weaker side of the MCU. It's just got a there's not very much action when you kind of compare it to the Iron Man movies, or if you compare it to like Guardians of the Galaxy or stuff like that. But Captain Marvel, I'd have to agree with everybody. It feels like a Phase 1 MCU movie, but in Phase 3. It's really weird, but it definitely feels like a Phase 1 movie. And Phase 1 is definitely not the greatest MCU phase. I think I actually don't like more movies in that phase than I do like movies in that phase, and even the special effects, like the CGI and everything, it wasn't really all that fantastic this time around, because a lot of the CGI, especially with Goose the Cat in this one, it looked really like rubbery and fake, and I don't know, maybe they just didn't have time to like kind of fix the CGI and everything. But I don't even think Brie Larson did a really great job as Captain Marvel. She was I don't know. Very disappointing movie. I thought it looked, contrary to popular belief, I kind of thought this movie was looked awesome from the trailers. I know everybody just hated it from the trailers, but they just ended up loving the movie. But I think it looked awesome from the trailers, and I ended up not really caring for the movie. But that is Captain Marvel. If you're wondering why I even have this in my collection, because I did not like it, I just needed to complete the collection for the complete MCU. So that is Captain Marvel. And then the next one here is probably the earliest 4K that I have in my collection, and that is Deadpool. You can probably tell that it's a really early 4K release because I do not have the I don't have the slipcover for this one. I don't have the slipcover for the Blu-ray copy as well. But this is probably the earliest 4K that I have in my collection. Maybe I have something earlier, but it's this one, Deadpool. I really enjoyed this movie. It's definitely not as good as the second one. It's kind of an unpopular opinion there. I just thought the second one had a little bit more action in it, and this one kind of moved by a little bit slowly, but that's kind of how origin stories kind of tend to be with me. But I still really enjoy this movie. I think Ryan Reynolds does a great job as Deadpool. He was pretty much born to play this role. But this one also sounds great on with the Atmos track as well. I know I haven't really been talking about it like Captain Marvel. There's nothing really noteworthy for that one, but this one sounds really great. Great test material as well, especially with the highway chase at the beginning of the movie. But yeah, Deadpool, it's a pretty good movie. It's just kind of slow because it is an origin story, and most of it is just kind of devoted to, just kind of setting him up and everything. And due to kind of the movie's low budget, I guess you could say there's not really a whole lot of action. Because during the part with the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier there, with the decommissioned helicarrier, Deadpool says that he forgets the guns in the taxi, in Dopinder's taxi. That was basically done because of the movie's low budget. They were supposed to have some big kind of gunfight and everything, but that didn't happen because of the movie's low budget. I think it was only like $50 million or something like that. But that is Deadpool. I really enjoyed it, but it kind of has some glaring issues for me. And then the next one here, of course, is Deadpool 2. And like I said, I like this one better than the first one, just because of the more action and everything and the higher budget as well. Because I guess you could say there are a little bit more kind of A-listers in this movie, but, not for long though. Of course, you got Josh Brolin as Cable there. He did a really good job. And, you kind of have the setup for X-Force in this movie, but they all get killed off, which is unfortunate, but, it was a really funny scene anyways. But, yeah, this one also comes with the Super Duper cut, which is, I believe, like 15 minutes longer, something like that. And I believe a lot of people say that it adds a lot of scenes, but it kind of ruins the pacing of the movie. Like, it kind of screws up the pacing, but I haven't watched that. But I've seen the theatrical cut twice already, and I really enjoy it. I love it. It's just hilarious, so good. I was just laughing constantly in the theater, and it was really good. And also, this is my first movie in AVX as well, which is really kind of cool. But yeah, I think you get the Super Duper cut on 4K as well. Hold on, I think I might. Yes, actually, you do. You do get the super duper cut on 4K right there, as well as the Blu-ray. But yeah, Deadpool 2, it's great. I love it. I know a lot of people didn't really care for it. It was like, oh, it's like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a 9 out of 10, but almost a 9.5. But a couple issues with that one as well. But the next one here, a couple years ago, I watched the trailer for it, and I thought it absolutely looked awful, but it ended up probably being one of my biggest surprises of that year. And that was 2017 with Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. And I got this one for a really good deal. I got this one for only $20 at Best Buy. And, you know, it's a great deal. It looks really great, but I can't really remember how it sounded. I think it sounded pretty good. But Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, I actually think it's better than the first one. If you watch the original with Robin Williams, and if you watch Welcome to the Jungle, probably take the rose-tinted glasses off, and you know, it's an okay movie at best because of the whole special effects and everything. Like, especially, like, the monkeys in the kitchen and that. Ugh. But Welcome to the Jungle, though, was really great. It really improved on the CGI and everything. Plus, you get kind of more main characters in that. Of course, nothing can top Robin Williams' performance. May he rest in peace as well. And they also do have a little tribute to him in this movie, which I thought was really nice that they included that. But Welcome to the Jungle, I thought it was a little bit more entertaining than the original one. Mind you, I haven't seen the original one since I was like a little kid, but Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, I thought Jack Black was great in this movie. He was just trying his best to play like a 16-year-old girl, and just like acting like how a teenage girl would, and it's just absolutely hilarious. It's comedy gold in this one. And you know, The Rock and Kevin Hart have great chemistry as well, and the four of them do with Karen Gillan as well. But yeah, this was a great movie. I really liked this. I was really surprised after watching the trailer and everything, because like I said, the trailers made it look like a dumpster fire. It looked awful. But Welcome to the Jungle was great. I really liked it, and I'm really excited to see the next level, which is coming out in December. So that is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. And then the next one here came out in the same year as Welcome to the Jungle, and was probably one of my bigger disappointments of the year. On the other hand, we have Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I got this one because it would probably sound really good on 4K as opposed to Blu-ray, because you do have the Atmos track on here. And watched this one a couple years ago, 2017, and it was okay, but it wasn't anywhere near The Secret Service, which was amazing. I really love that movie. And this one, I don't know. I don't know what went wrong in this one. Besides not much screen time going to Channing Tatum in this movie, and also trying to bring back Harry as well, and that was, yeah, I don't know. Bringing back Colin Firth in this movie was not a very good decision at all after they did kill him in the first movie. And, you know, the decision to kill off Mark Strong as well, he was probably the main star out of all those ones besides Taron Egerton. Mark Strong is just awesome, but kind of wasted him by killing him off. And Julianne Moore just was not a very good villain at all in this movie. But, like, Channing Tatum, in the trailers and TV spots and everything, they basically advertise him to be a main character. He was barely even in this movie. I think he got, like, hurt, and then he spent the rest of the movie in, like, some kind of, like cryo sleep or something like that. Even, like, Elton John had more screen time than him, and I don't know why they even put Elton John in this movie. That didn't make any sense at all. And, like, it was just such stupid decisions in this movie. Just, yeah, I don't know. But one highlight of this movie was the beginning part with the taxi set to Prince, and that was really awesome. That sounded really good in Atmos as well, and this is a really good-looking 4K, but unfortunately, it is not the greatest movie at all. But that is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Highly recommend watching The Secret Service, but do not recommend The Golden Circle at all. And then the next one here is one that I also have on Blu-ray as well, and that is Ready Player One. I did actually get this one this year for my birthday, and I saw it last year as well in theaters on opening day, I believe, and I absolutely loved it. It was great. I haven't read, mind you, I haven't read the book, so, you know, a lot of people said that the movie does not hold a candle to the book at all. But I hear a lot of people also blasting the book too and saying that it is awful. But Ready Player One, it was great. I loved it. Just the special effects. This should have won special effects actually at the Oscars, but unfortunately that award went to First Man, which was a movie that I did not care for at all. But Ready Player One, like I said, should have won the Oscar for visual effects. Infinity War was up for it as well, but there were kind of iffy moments in that one, but this one, CGI was great the whole way through, and it was just really good. I wish something like the Oasis could actually exist in real life, where you could just kind of be anything, do anything you like, be anything you want, do anything you want. It's just a really cool world, and hopefully they can make a sequel to it here soon. I believe they're actually trying to get everybody back for a sequel. I believe Steven Spielberg actually wants to do a sequel, but you know, it's just, you get such a sense of wonder and excitement when you watch this movie. Kind of a cliche phrase, but it's just such a cool movie. I recommend anybody watch it, even if you don't like video games. I think you'll love this movie. But yeah, Ready Player One, it was great. I loved it, and even the critics agree with that. Certified fresh. But yeah, this was a great movie. I love seeing all the references and everything. Like, of course, the DeLorean, the Iron Giant right there, and just a whole kind of swack of references in this movie. If you're a fan of the 80s and if you're a fan of video games, you'll love Ready Player One. And then the next one here, I know, it's pretty bad. I haven't seen this next one. It's actually the only movie in my 4K collection that I have not seen. Saving Private Ryan. Yes, I know what you're thinking right now. Why haven't you watched this? You know, I'm planning on watching it. Don't worry, I'm planning to get around to it, but I think this might be the earliest one in my collection. It says it does in 2018. Okay, I guess not. Deadpool, I guess, is the earliest 4K in my collection, but yeah, this is the commemorative 20th anniversary. I do also have this movie on DVD as well. I think I might have it still. Maybe. I don't know. I think I might have got rid of it. I might have. But, yeah, I can't see it anywhere. But, yeah, Saving Private Ryan, winner of 5 Academy Awards, including Best Director. This was also up for Best Picture, but a very undeserved win going to Shakespeare in Love, which Saving Private Ryan was up for that year, but you know, that was pretty quick. And then the next one here is my newest addition to my 4K collection, and I also did an unboxing of this one on Tuesday, and that was Shazam. And I'll also link my unboxing down in the description of this video as well, so I'll have my MCU collection and my Shazam unboxing in the description with the links. And if you guys want to know more about what I said about Shazam, check the unboxing. I love this movie. It was everything that, you know, a movie like this should be. Shazam isn't really kind of a serious superhero because it's kind of such a ridiculous concept. It's like, oh, it's just like a little kid turning into a full-blown man. You know, it's not necessarily the most serious thing ever, but anyway, yeah, Shazam, it was a really fun movie. I really liked it. And it's almost kind of like Big in a way with Tom Hanks, but kind of like updated for the 2010s. But Shazam, I loved it. It was great. Kind of a step in the right direction for the DC universe, but that is Shazam. And then the next one here is another older one, and that is Spider-Man Homecoming. And also one of the only ones that I do not have the slipcover for. And I absolutely love this one as well, but I kind of like this one was a little bit better than Far From Home, I thought, because Far From Home had a little bit of issues kind of regarding the villain and everything, but I thought Michael Keaton was great in this as Vulture. He was amazing, actually. Just so, like, kind of threatening, a threatening villain that Spider-Man kind of needed and everything. And, you know, this is such a great movie, kind of a breath of fresh air for Spider-Man after those horrible Andrew Garfield ones. Andrew Garfield was just a horrible Spider-Man. And, you know, kind of a turn from, like, the goofy Tobey Maguire ones. They have heart, but they're kind of goofy, though. But Homecoming had the perfect mix of kind of drama, humor, and action and everything. And I thought Robert Downey Jr. was a pretty good addition to this movie as well. Even though it kind of maybe focused on him a little bit too much, but just kind of going to him and saving the day and everything. But yeah, Homecoming, it was great. I loved it. I know a lot of people kind of looking back on it don't like it, but it was great. I really liked it. And then the next one here is probably one of the best Spider-Man movies, and that is Into the Spiderverse. I know a lot of people love this one, and I'm really happy for it that it got Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. It definitely deserved it, and going up against the other ones like Incredibles 2 and like Wreck-It Ralph and that. None of those ones deserved it as much as Into the Spider-Verse did, because there was just so much heart and so much dedication into making this movie that there's just so many Easter eggs, so many kind of tributes to the comics and everything, and just it's such a great movie that is definitely worth watching over and over again. And this movie had no right being as good as it was. And you know, like I love Spider-Man, but I was kind of wary of the concept of an animated Spider-Man movie, which is kind of why I said that. But you know, Into the Spider-Verse was great. It had great writing, especially from Phil Lord and Chris Miller, which are probably some of the best directors today. And you know, it was just a fantastic movie all around, really well made. I kind of actually dug the animation style as well, and just all kind of seeing all the different Spider-Mans, or Spider-Men, I guess you could say, like, you know, Miles Morales, Peter Parker, you know, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, you know, all that good stuff. It was just really good. This one, probably best 4K testing material. You can probably get your money's worth for this one. Looks fantastic, and it sounds fantastic. It probably sounds even better, actually. But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse, that is that one. Just such a fantastic movie. And then these next couple here are some older ones, like some older movies, and that is Star Trek. This one I really like, but I think I actually like the second one a little bit better. But Star Trek, this being the 2009 reboot with Chris Pine and Zoe Saldana as well. And these ones are really, really good. I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan. Actually, surprisingly enough, one more kind of confession, I guess you could say. I haven't seen the other Star Trek movies. I've seen bits and pieces of Generations, and that's about it. Other than that, I haven't seen any of the original ones. These are basically the only Star Trek movies that I've seen the whole way through. But yeah, these ones are really good. I really like these, and these ones also sound amazing with the Atmos track as well. But Star Trek, I thought Chris Pine did a good job as Captain Kirk, and also Zachary Quinto as Spock as well. But yeah, Star Trek, pretty good movie. And then next one here is Star Trek Into Darkness, which, like I said, it was a little bit better because you had, you know, Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan in this one. And another good testing material, or another good kind of test scene, I guess you could say, is when Khan crashes the ship into San Francisco. That is a great part. That it sounds absolutely amazing with Atmos and everything. Just such great bass in that one. And yeah, Star Trek Into Darkness. This is a pretty great movie. And then the next one here is the last MCU movie for this part, and the second last one for this collection video, and that is Thor Ragnarok. And I know a lot of people just absolutely love this one. They said it's probably in their top 5 MCU. I'd say it's probably in my top 10 MCU, but I really like this movie. But interesting story, though, is when this one came out a couple years ago, I was very wary about it from the trailer and everything, because actually both trailers for Ragnarok and for Justice League came out around the same time, and I watched both of those trailers. Surprisingly enough, I thought Justice League looked way better than Ragnarok did. I thought Ragnarok looked too goofy and just was not used to that version of Thor and everything, and I thought this movie looked absolutely awful, like dumpster fire quality from this one. And then when I ended up watching those movies, I thought Ragnarok was the better movie out of all those than Justice League. Justice League was okay, and I thought Ragnarok was really great, and just the kind of breath of fresh air that Thor needed, because I don't actually like the Dark World. I do like the first Thor, that was kind of interesting, but Dark World is awful. Would not recommend watching the Dark World at all, or even rewatching it if you guys are MCU fans. But Ragnarok was great. I really liked it. And there's that. But with the Disney 4Ks, they're not necessarily that great for Atmos. Some of them are, but not all of them, because Ragnarok does not have a very good Atmos track at all. It sounds very kind of toned down, and everything it does not sound very good at all. But this next one here is actually the last one for this collection video, and that is XMen Apocalypse. I actually don't remember much about this one because it came out so long ago, but I think I remember liking it. It was not too bad, actually, not as horrible as other people were making it out to be, but XMen Apocalypse, it was pretty good. I didn't mind Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse. It probably could have been a little bit better, but I actually didn't mind him in the role. But yeah, it had some pretty good action. It had some good moments in here as well, like with the whole Quicksilver saving all of the, I guess he could say all the kids from the mansion. That had a pretty good, that was a pretty good part. But overall, Apocalypse, I like this one, and it was definitely one to check out. But anyway, though, guys, that is about it for my 4K collection. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. Twitter and Instagram links will be in the description down below if you want to follow me on there. Also, be sure to check out my IMDb profile page, and link for that will also be down below in the description of this video as well as those links to those other videos. And one more time here, if you're new to this channel, be sure to click the bell to be notified of future videos, a video every Tuesday and Friday. So anyway, though, guys, that is about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.